buddhiman. Buddhi, if we use it to recognize my own self, then such a person is called buddhiman. So, etad buddhva buddhiman syar. Some people, they are afraid of this spirituality. They say that, oh, इस चक्कर में जाएंगे तो हमारा सब छूट जाएगा. We have so many duties, other duties in the world. We have to achieve so many other things in this world. I have to do this, I have to do that. Bhagavan says, when you attain this state of enlightenment, you will reach a state of kritakrityata, having done what you have to do. You will feel that I have done what I have to do. That feeling can come only when we follow this path and recognize ourselves. Kritakritya it is called. Krita means done, kritya that which has to be done. So fulfillment, a deep sense of fulfillment will be experienced by the person who gains the state of enlightenment. So this is given by our scriptures only. Because dharma, adharma is also spoken by the scriptures, but the scriptures also talk about the state of enlightenment. So we need not argue with them. So this is the best path which will take us to our own self, higher self. So thus this 15th chapter, a short, sweet chapter which briefly indicated the highest truth, first by describing the whole cosmos as a inverted people tree, and then it has got the source, its roots are up in that Brahma only, that Purushottama is the source of this tree. From that only it has come down. All the trunk and branches and all has come down from that Purushottama. And that which has come down is the Kshara and Akshara Purush only. So the matter which goes to make the tree is like the Kshara Purush, and that life force which is there is like Akshara Purush. But we have to recognize that Purushottama. So in order to do that, we have to gain Vairagya. So first step is to gain Vairagya and then inquire and come to recognize the self through inquiry, through surrender, through meditation. We have to recognize our own self. The qualities of Nirmana, Moha, Jitana, Sanga, Dosha, etc. help us to become fit to follow this path. That this Jiva who is trying to follow this path and recognize the self is in fact the self only. He is the amsha of that supreme reality alone. So when he doesn't know that, goes from one body to another, that itself is called samsara. But when he gains the eyes of wisdom, then comes to recognize the self. Bhagavan, in order to help us, gives the vibhuti also, that I alone am there in the sun, the moon, the fire, the earth, in all the herbs, and in your stomach also. And I am there in your heart. So know me. I alone am expressing as the Kshara and Akshara Purusha, but I am that Purushottama. I am beyond the Kshara Purush and beyond the Akshara Purush also. One who knows me, he becomes free of all bondage. He alone loves me in all forms. So this is the great secret science, and knowing this, a person becomes fulfilled. Finally, that Sankalpa Vakya. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Purushottama Yogo Nama Panchadashodhyayah. So thus Om Tat Sat is that name or indicator of that Supreme. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, so in this Bhagavad Gita, which is the Upanishad, is revealed the knowledge of Brahma, Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra and the science of Yoga in the form of a dialogue between Bhagwan Sri Krishna and Arjuna, Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. The name of this chapter is Purushottama Yoga and it is the 15th chapter. So Panchadashodhyayaha. Thus this chapter gets concluded here. So Om Tat Sat. Hari Om. But still, don't get up and go. Now we will see the questions which you have raised. Many questions are there. So I will try to answer as many as I can, and then remaining we can see in the next, during the next yajna also. So let us see. This came later on. Okay, this is one question. You said sleep comes naturally. No one has to teach us how to do that. See, some objection must be there for that. In sleep, one decides not to interact with the world and sleep takes over. Also, you said that there is a similarity between initial technique of sleep and meditation. Then why do most of us find it difficult to meditate? Please enlighten us as to how to achieve the state of meditation with as much ease as sleep. So when we become tired, we go to sleep. And when we gain vairagya and proper knowledge and remain alert, we go into the state of meditation. So sleep is like going into a tamogun, and meditation is to going into sattvagun. So it requires qualification. And the qualification is vairagya and proper knowledge, understanding of the self, and then holding on to that I am notion, I am knowledge. You just hold on to it and just surrender to it. Surrender to your own being. See, we have that I has got four expressions as though. I become the doer, I am the feeler, I am the thinker, and I am just the being. I am. So I do, I feel, I think, and I am. So you forget the first three. Don't do anything, don't feel anything, and don't think anything. Just be. For this, we have to give up that feeling and doing and thinking. For that, you require vairagya. And to hold on to that I, we require the understanding and the attitude of total surrender and faith. So when we have that, we will be able to go into the state of meditation as easily as we go to sleep. So briefly I will answer. We say that God is present in this world. Is He present in some particular place, or we just believe that God is there? For example, when we go to places like Amarnath, Vaishno Devi and other holy places, is He present there? See, when we say God is present in this world, God is present in this world as Kshara and Akshara Purush. You should understand the presence of God and what we mean by God from the scriptures only, not from other newspaper or something like that. So God is present everywhere. Even this flower is God. He alone is there. Unfortunately, we don't recognize. That is our problem. It is not the problem that God is not there. God's presence is there in the flower also. He is everywhere. Then why we go to Vaishnav Devi and other places, Amarnath? Because there we have created a impression through so many years, and the stories are there and so many there. The presence of God is felt by many people there. So when we also go, it helps us to feel the presence of God. Even Tirtha Kshetra, there, Varanasi or Vrindavan you go, there we have the stories of Bhagwan, and he has played his Leela and Bal Leela and all. So when we go there, it becomes easy for us to feel the presence of God there. But God's presence is everywhere. So those who are weak in their spiritual journey, they have to go to such places which will help them to feel the presence of God. But once you start feeling the presence of God, let it extend it to every place. Finally, it should be in your own home, in your own living room, in your kitchen. One should feel the presence of God, because He is everywhere. It is an insult to say that He only is there and He is not anywhere else. God is, Bhagavan says, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina. I pervade this whole world. He doesn't say I am only at Vaishnav Devi. He says I pervade the whole world. I am there everywhere. But some places my special vibhutis are there. For those who do not feel my presence, they can look at these vibhutis. They can go to that temple. They can go to the special place. There they will feel my presence. But otherwise I am everywhere. So God is everywhere, and you have to gain the eye of wisdom to see God. With our physical eye, we will not be able to see the presence of God. But when we gain the vision from the scriptures, we will be able to see God. If you ask Tulsidas ji, he says, I see God everywhere. Siya Rama Mai Sab Jag Jani. If you ask some other person, he says, Kahan hai Siya Ram? Ye to mera chachera bhai hai. So they cannot see, but the realized masters see God everywhere. So we have to gain the vision of this wisdom to see God. When we are in your presence, listening to your pravachan, we understand and feel we can continue the sadhana easily. But once we go back, it becomes difficult to bring that bhava in heart. What is the right sadhana to have the same bhava in mind all the time? Either all the time I have to sit and give pravachan. That is one method, but it is not possible. So you have to, therefore after the pravachan what you do is also very important. Many times what happens, immediately after pravachan, we start talking of worldly thing and forget the pravachan. Then there is no hope. Then it's very no hope, very difficult. We have to maintain, just like khana khane ke baad, मान लीजिए somebody eating and immediately vomits it out. It will not be helpful for that person. खाना तो खा लिया पूरा, लेकिन पूरा फेंक दिया बाहर. What is the use? So when we listen, we have to contemplate on whatever. The whole lecture we have to again recollect. If to help us recollect, we write notes and all, or we have the CDs and all available. So we have to recollect the whole thing contemplate and understand it ourselves. When you listen to pravachan, it is the teacher's understanding, the speaker's understanding. But when you think about it, contemplate on it, it becomes your understanding. To make it your understanding takes a lot of time. Then once it becomes your understanding, then you can carry the bhava wherever you go. But if it is teacher's understanding, then you have to carry teacher everywhere, which is not possible. So you have to, after listening to pravachan, you think about it, reflect on it, write down notes, take it seriously first of all. Write down notes, think about it, talk about it, meditate on it. And then this bhava can be maintained even when you are not here. In shlokas 16 and 17, we are told the Kshara and Akshara, then Purushottama as Ishvara or Ishvara. As I understood from our earlier studies, the Akshara, the immutable, unchanging, is Supreme Consciousness or Brahma. Ishvara understood as Creator, Sustainer and Destroyer, who also come from the immutable Supreme Consciousness. So how can Ishvara be the Purushottama? See that these terms should be understood in that proper context. Sometimes the same terms are used differently, like that Akshara word is used for Brahma also. We had seen there in the 8th chapter, the word Akshara is used for Brahma, even in the, I think in the 12th chapter also. But here in this context, it is called Akshara Purush and Kshara Purush. So Kshara means the changing and Akshara means the unchanging. And Purushottama is that which is beyond this Kshara and Akshara. And Ishvara, this term I explained yesterday also, Ishvara means the master. So Purushottama alone here is indicated as the master. So try to understand it as it is explained in a particular chapter and particular context, and it will become more clear. No doubt Ishvara elsewhere is also indicated as the creator, sustainer and destroyer. Ishvara even in this chapter is also indicated as Jiva. Jiva himself is called Ishvara. Vibharth, I mean from one body to another body, the Utkramatishvaraha, Ishvara alone goes. So these terms have to be understood according to the context. Out of context, if we take, we can get misunderstanding the whole thing. Please clarify Karana Sharir with respect to Swiss bank account. Karana Sharir is the stock of our samskar. We have these three bodies, the gross physical body, the subtle body which is made up of mind, intellect, senses, the pranas, and Karana Sharir is the samskar, the causal state of this subtle body. The causal state of subtle body and the gross body is called the causal body. Means it is the avvyakta, what we call avvyakta or prakriti or vasanas or samskars. They are called the Karan Sharir. And from this Karan Sharir itself, a little bit of that samskar is taken up and we gain the present body of this present lifetime. So we have a great stock of samskar lying in the Karan Sharir, but only little bit of